Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. I have a quick message for you all today. Look, I just saw that number 111, so I know that's confirmation that I have to do this message. Just a disclaimer, I'm not into angel numbers and all of that. But I do believe in prophetic numbers. I do believe God speak to people different ways. You know, I'm not this limited in the box, put in the box, limited thinking, limited everything type of person who believes, you know. I'm not a limited believer. I believe God speaks to people individually, and he speaks to them in his own way that resonates with them. That's what I believe. Because I know a lot of people are against people saying they are seeing these different numbers, and I'm one of those ones who see a lot of those numbers, right? And I can't ignore that and say I'm some type of sorcerer or something, because I know I don't delve into those type of things. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge that hey Keisha, at the same time I have to acknowledge that God is speaking to me. Something is going on to where I'm seeing all these numbers. I'm seeing 111. I mean, it's like amped up now, and I don't talk about it a lot, but I just brought it up recently because I just saw it, 111 on August the 11th, right? So I came to talk to you all about You Look How You Look, right? That's the title, right? However you look, that's how you look. And what I mean by that is, we focus so much on our outer appearance, like how we look on the outside. We focus so much on, I'm gonna say people focus so much on, and there's nothing wrong with looking nice. I like looking good, feeling good, vibing high. I like all of that, right? But I noticed too that a lot of people spend so much time on the outside, right? We spend so much time on our outer appearance, and I'm not talking against looking good. I said that already, right? But we spend so much time on the outer, the superficial, that we don't spend any time on the spiritual. We don't spend any time on the inner. We don't spend a lot of time healing, right? We don't spend a lot of time doing the work on us, on the inside, uprooting those broken places, those broken spaces, that pain and hurt. We don't spend a lot of time on that. A lot of people just jump out of one toxic relationship and go into the next relationship without even doing the work on themselves. Like, we spend so much time putting on the best clothes, buying the best handbags, looking good, getting the best makeup, all while we are on the inside rotten, right? The inside is rotten on the inside because we're not doing the work. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about us doing the work on the inner, making our inner man look good, which means we're healing, right? We're uprooting, digging out, forgiving, repenting, whatever it is we got to do to let go of the hardened heart, the unforgiveness, the bitterness, the grudges, the lack of self-love. And you can tell if you love yourself by how you allow others to treat you. If you are allowing others to treat you like trash, you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. If you are allowing family to mistreat you, use you, you don't love yourself. I just had to say that for somebody. I don't know who, but you don't love yourself. So working on the inner part, working on setting healthy boundaries, that's part of working on the inner man. When you set healthy boundaries, when you know how to say no, when you value your time, right? When you're not afraid to say no, because in this season you're taking care of yourself. You can't always be there for people. And if they don't understand it, and if they don't, agree with it, that's on them. But doing the inner work where you're not feeling guilty for saying no. A lot of you all feel guilty for saying no. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to take time out for yourself or to start your healing journey. We all have a journey that we have to take. We all have a journey we have to go on, right? We all have a journey. And it's not going to look like someone else's journey. But the goal is for us to become whole within ourselves, for us to become complete within ourselves, where we don't need another person to just live on earth. Like some people can't even live, can't do anything without feeling like they have to have somebody to go with them, to help them, to do for them, to be, interdependent, to coexist. No. That's not how that's supposed to be. We're supposed to be whole within ourselves and then invite someone else into our experience or allow them to invite us into their experience. But you're supposed to be whole within yourself, whole and content within yourself. And the only way you can do that if you start your healing journey. Start working on the inside. Start grooming the inside. Groom the inside just as well as you groom the outside. The amount of work you put on the outside looking good, you should put twice as much on your inside to look good. Twice as much work you should invest in putting that time to get your inner man, the parts that people can't see. Hey, Robin, the parts that people can't see. We should be just as much focused on that, because I like I've said, and it's my third time saying, I love looking good. But I even feel better and feel good when I know my inside is right. When I know I'm whole from within, when I know I'm doing the work on me, when I know I've done the work on me, it makes the outfit even better. The confidence is even higher. The boldness is even bolder when the inside matches the outside and vice versa. Not only do you look good on the outside, your inside looks just as good. You're not bitter. You're not in unforgiveness. You're not hateful. You're not mean. You're not passive. You have healthy boundaries. It will show. It will show when you have done the work on the inside. And sometimes it don't even matter what you have on the outside. You could just be looking normal, as people would say, plain. But people will see that you are radiating on a different vibration, a different level. They will see that there is something different about you. There is a light. People will see. People will stare at you. People will want to talk to you. People will want to give you things. People will want to buy you things. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I've experienced it. When they see and they can feel and they want to talk to you, they want to, give you information. You didn't ask for it. You didn't ask for it. But because you're radiating and you are vibrating so high, people want to do for you. They want to bless you. I don't know if it's just me, but I've experienced it. And unfortunately, when you are doing the work, unfortunately, it's contagious, and also it's going to repel people. People are going to hate you because you are working on yourself. They're going to hate you because there's a light in you. But you have to be in a place where you understand that their hate is not yours. What they got going on, that doesn't belong to you. They get to keep that. Because one thing I've noticed, people don't like for you to vibrate on a high level. They don't like for your energy to be so high. They'll do anything to try to bring you down in that. And I know for chosen ones, if you're tapped in, you know that certain things will bring you down vibrationally, like gossip. Gossiping will bring the chosen ones down on a low, bring them down to a low vibration. Will bring them down. And that's why I avoid it. To be honest, that's why I avoid it. Because I understand that being around people who gossip, participating in gossip, participating in just my ears just listening, it brings me down. So I've learned to have boundaries. I learned to excuse myself. If I can't excuse myself, I learn not to comment. If I can't, I'll just speak up and say I don't get involved. It depends on the circumstance and the situation. One of those three things, I'll just tell them straight out, I don't gossip. I don't talk about people. That's low vibrational. Or two, I'll excuse myself and move. Or three, or I just ignore it. But I know as far as that, gossip is not healthy for me. So that's a boundary I have. That's a boundary. So that's what I want to come talk to y'all about. Do the inner work. You look how you look, right? You look how you look. How you look on the inside, that's how you look on the outside. We've seen it. We've seen it, that people just don't have pleasant faces. They don't have a pleasant look. They don't have an approachable look. And you be afraid to say anything to them, or you have to tread lightly before you say something, or you don't know because you can see on the outside what they have going on the inside. I know I can. I don't know about you all, but I can. I can tell when a person just got too much going on. Even if they try to hide it, I can still see. So we're going to, well, I know I have been too. So the pot can't call the kettle black, because I know I've been working on it. I've been there, done that. But I noticed it wasn't until I started doing this inner work, right? My inner work, that really started radiating, elevating my happiness, elevating my joy. It wasn't until I started doing the inner work, letting go of people who I need to let go of. It wasn't easy. Letting go of people who I need to let go of, so I could get the healing that I need, so I can find the peace that I need. Severing, relationships, friendships, to get the peace and the development and growth that I needed. Because believe it or not, people who you are trying to hold on to, family, friends, relationships, jobs, whatever, believe it or not, it is those things, those people that are really keeping you in a state that you can't elevate past. Because those situations and people are really weighing you down. They're pulling on you. They are pulling on you. And you can't really get past that. So do the work on the inside, right? Do the work on the inside so it can reflect the outside. So you all be blessed. I hope you all are having a great Sunday. Keisha, hello, Keisha and Robin and Michael. Thank you all for tuning in. Those are the names I just see here. I see others are here. Hey, Tammy. Oh, that's a hard one, Tammy. You have to pray about that one, dear. That is a hard one. You have to pray about that one. But also you can have a conversation. Have you ever had a conversation with her? And I know depending on how old the mother is and how she's set in her ways, that can be very difficult. Those situations could be very difficult, and everyone's situation is not the same. Hi, Betsy. Hi, Dee. I know that one could be very difficult, Tammy. I understand. Yeah, you have to pray about that one. Ask God to guide you. Ask him to guide you and help you make the see, yeah, she said in her ways, honey. Ask him to guide you and ask him to lead you to help to make the right decision that's best for your situation, not what someone else is suggesting. Because what you will do, someone else may not do, but they're not in your situation. You understand what I'm saying? They're not. One thing I've learned not to judge people for, or even make them feel bad for the decisions that they have to make, right, with their situation, what they have going on. Because there are some things that I would never do, but that's me because I'm not in that situation. There are some things that you all would never do that I've done, but I'm in a situation. You all are not in the situation. That's why I tell people they have to be led and get guidance from God, because we're not all in the same situation. How I see things, someone else may not see it, but you have to be led by God. You have to be led and let God lead you to make the right decision. Because it is very hard dealing with elderly parents, especially if they are set in their mindsets. They have a traumatic mindset. You got to understand a lot of those mothers and family members, if they haven't did the work on themselves, they see the world through a traumatized lens. And some of them are very mean and self-centered and stuck in their ways. And it is very hard to deal with them. Right? And you don't want to feel like you don't want to feel like you're abandoning your parent, but they are very difficult to deal with. Right? I understand. I'm not oblivious to facts. I'm not oblivious. And a lot of those, yes, and a lot of those people are set in their ways and they're not willing to change. They're not willing, like they feel as if what they are doing is justified and right because they are angry and hurt and bitter on the inside. They have unforgiveness. They haven't dealt with their trauma. So they feel justified to inflict that pain on their children or their grandkids or whomever is around them because they never faced their demons. They never dealt with the molestation. They never dealt with the trauma. They never dealt with the issues that they have. And it can be very hard. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And I understand that. It is not easy. Exactly. Oh, and especially if it's a man, you will never find out. If it's a man, you will never find out. You will just feel the wrath of the anger. You will feel the wrath of the anger and bitterness. unless God delivers him and touches him and break him down to not, as they would say, you'll never find that out. And most likely has something to do when you're dealing with the man, either father wounds, issues, or molestation. Because men always like to hide that type of abuse because they feel like they're no longer a man because someone else violated them. And if they had a father that abused them verbally or abandoned them, they definitely have a lot of issues that they're just carrying and inflicting on other people. All this stuff is spiritual, you know? All of it is spiritual. And then if we don't talk about it and address it, it lingers on. And sometimes you have to be the mirror to your parents. Sometimes the children have to bring up to the parents, right? Sometimes the children have to be the mirror to the parents, right? The mirror, you hold the mirror in their face to let them see themselves. And you can't be afraid to do that as a child, because I know we were raised to respect our parents, and anything against what our parents say, even if it's wrong, we feel like it's disrespect. And it's not disrespect. It's just having a conversation. It's having a conversation, and it's you telling the truth to your parent who's up in age or who want to see things a certain way. And I know it's hard because they're so prideful. A lot of those older people are very prideful. Let's be honest. They're very prideful, and they think they know everything. And they don't know everything. That's just the truth. It's the truth, and the truth probably hurts, and people may not agree. But older doesn't always mean wiser. We have to understand that we got people who are older in age, but they are stuck. They've been arrested in their development. And you're trying to figure out, why does this person still act like they're a teenager? They act like they're 25 or 14 and they're 50 or 60. They still, because emotionally they are a child. Emotionally they have been arrested. Emotionally they don't know how to regulate their emotions because of what they've gone through. Right? Spiritually, I've gone through it, and God gave me wisdom. And I've watched a lot of this stuff growing up and paid attention to it. So God just gave me that wisdom. Yeah, he just downloaded it, and I experienced a lot of it. But that's usually how it goes. And we don't never want to address it, because especially when dealing with parents, because we think our parents are older. Sometimes you outgrow the very person who raised you. You realize that you realize that the people who so-called raised you were only providers. They didn't have enough substance to really raise you. A lot of that stuff you had to learn on your own. You had to learn on your own, or learn from other people, or God had to impart wisdom in you from experience. And you can't be upset with that. I tell people, we have to remember that a lot of our parents, we have to forgive them. And that's what we talked about the other night in the gratitude jar showcase. I was telling them that that's why I suggest or recommend that most people forgive their parents, even if they are mean or if they set in their ways. We have to remember that they went through a lot of things. Now, that's not an excuse. Now, I ain't trying to give them no pass now. Now, I'm not saying that. But once we realize and understand what they've gone through, right? What they had to experience, we got to be the ones to change that. We got to be the ones to make a difference and change that cycle, change the direction of things. Because a lot of us are afraid to confront our parents. We're afraid to call our parents out in a respectable way, because we feel like we're talking back. We feel like we're being disrespectful. And you just want to express yourself. Some of you all never expressed yourself to your parents. You never told your parent how you felt, right? And that's why it's not good to really blame them for some things, because you never really expressed to your parents how you really felt about things. And all some of you all need is a conversation. A conversation will clear up a lot of misunderstanding for us to move on. Oh, I understand that, D. When they're like that, you still say, when you have a parent that's like that, or anybody, just not a parent, I've learned, when you have a person that's like your father, D, who always got to have the last word, who really don't want to hear you out, they just have to have the last word. What I've learned with that, I've learned that I have to get myself to a place that where I'm healthy enough to allow that person to have the last word, but I still stand on my truth. You can have the last word. I don't care what you say, how you feel, right? But I know my truth is my truth. And when you get to a place to where you're able to stand on that, it'll be easier for you to deal with your father, because you already know he's how he is. You can't change him. That's another thing we got to learn. We can't change people. We only have to change ourselves. We change how we respond to them. We change how we interact with them. Sometimes you have to limit, if you're able to, you have to limit your interactions with your parents. And I know this sounds crazy to some people, and I tell people, everybody don't have nice and loving parents. Everybody don't have easygoing parents. If you have a parent that's easygoing, that respects you, respects your opinion, respects your decision, you are blessed. That's not always trying to change you, change who you are, change how you see the world. They could disagree with you, but still love you. They could not agree with what you're doing, but still love you, still invite you over to eat, still love you unconditionally. If you have that, you are blessed. And don't let anybody come and try to destroy that. Because if you have parents like that, you always have people that's trying to destroy your relationships. That's why you have to do the work, D. I understand. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. When you do the work on you and you get to that point, even if, and to be honest, I've been lied on. Can I tell you? I've been lied on in the worst way. I have been lied on in the worst type of ways. But guess what? I had to come to terms with, I know the truth. I know who I am. I know what I believe. I know what I stand on. And I trust that God was going to vindicate me. And he vindicated me. Instead of, oh, I understand. I've been there. I had someone to come and destroy my relationship with my son, with me and my oldest son, D. I had a person to come and destroy my relationship with me and my oldest son. Out of jealousy, out of envy and hate. But I trusted God so much that I had to let that relationship go and allow God to do the work in that relationship. Allow God to open my son's eyes to see that the person or people is not really for him. I understand. I've been there. But I found my joy and my happiness knowing that I done right. When you know you've done right and you know you didn't do anything, okay, there's a peace in that. When you pray and ask God to vindicate you, even show you where you've gone wrong, show you what you've done. That's how I do it. Right? That's how I did it. And God will vindicate you. My joy don't come in someone else lying on me. My joy don't come, and this person lied on me so much. Use my son against me, and I talk about it. Use my son to turn against me. My son hated my guts. because of what somebody else said, the image that was projected onto him, the ideals and all the lies that were projected onto him. And I'm sharing this because I'm led to share it. But and to this day, I've forgiven my son. I don't hate him. I talk to him, but the story still remains the same, right? What happened still remained the same. And I had to go through forgiveness even of my son, because I felt like he knew better. And God showed me he didn't know better. He just had people who were supposed to love him take advantage of him during this vulnerable moment in his life, right? So God had to show me that, and he had to show me to keep my son in prayer. Every month that I fasted, I kept my son in prayer. I took my heart to God. I kept myself in prayer, because I know the enemy was using my son to try to destroy me, and he couldn't destroy me, okay? You can't destroy a person who stay on their knees in prayer. You can't destroy a person who fast, who believe in God, and who gonna ask God to vindicate them. What's gonna happen is, while you trying to destroy someone who's praying and fasting and crying out to God and not hating you and taking you to prayer, because I had to pray for this witch, because exactly what she is. I had to pray for this lady, because she was a bona fide witch trying to destroy my family, destroy my son, destroy my child, destroy my son's mental state, you know, planting seeds of discord amongst my children, putting my son up on a pedestal, making him a golden child, all while trying to create division in amongst my kids. You're talking to somebody who's been through something. And it's the truth, and I'm not afraid of it, because I know God gets the glory. He's doing the work in this situation. But you live and go through stuff, and people don't think you went through nothing, because you still have joy. You still can come on here and encourage and uplift other people. You really haven't said anything, right? People throw rocks and hide their hands. They work behind the scenes, planting seeds of discord, creating chaos out of jealousy and their evil, hateful spirit. And these type of people you got to pray for. And don't let them get your spirit down. See, the thing about me, I don't like people controlling me, because I know it's not of God. When people try to control me, I do whatever God tells me to do to help me to release and forgive these people, because they're dealing with demonic influences. And I had to stand my ground. I had to stand my ground for 4 years, because this person thought they were going to use my son, right? The person thought they was going to use my son to destroy me, right? And they only destroyed themselves. They only destroyed their own soul, because I was praying while they were praying. I was praying while they were praying. I was PARYING while they was PREYING. And I forgive them. I forgive that person, because I know this person is filled and riddled with hate. You can see it on this person's face. Their spirit is hateful. Their face is hateful. The way they look is hateful. So why am I going to expend my energy fighting a person who's overtaken by demonic spirits, who got their own demons to fight? This situation only equipped me to teach me how to fight and pray better, pray harder, believe more, all while having the Lord cover my son. I had to pray for God to cover him, watch over him, keep him in his right mind, because this spirit was trying to do a double, trying to destroy both of us at the same time. So instead of me focusing on them, I put my focus on God. You do what you want to do. You slander me. You talk about me. You waste your energy trying to bring me down, while I'm going to waste my energy so God can take me up. I'm spending my energy on being elevated spiritually. And that's how that went. That's how I overcame. We got to be so focused on God, we can't worry about what the next person is talking about. Because God will vindicate you. When you know yourself, when you know what you've done, God will vindicate you. And you got to say prayers. You got to condemn every lie. This thing is really spiritual. You got to condemn every lie. Because one thing I know about a lie and people who lie, when they see that light in you, they get jealous. They get envious. They hate you. They will hate you because you glow. You light up. You know, they see that spirit of God within you. They see that you different. They will hate you. They will lie on you. And that's expected. Because God say if they lied on me and you say you a believer, you gonna get lied on too. But you got to be able to stand through the lies. When they lie, you got to be able to stand through it. Pray for your enemies. This thing is spiritual. He's not telling you to be soft. Ain't nothing soft about God. He's telling you to pray because he don't want, because he know it's so spiritual and your mouth is so powerful, you will live and eat the fruit thereof. So if you wish bad on your enemies, he know that thing is so strong, it's going to come back on you. What you wish on them is going to come back on you. So that's why he tell you to pray for them and bless them. Because when you bless your enemies, you get the blessing. You think I want to bless that witch? And it's not that you being passive, how people say you don't pray for a witch, and that's how you destroy them. You destroy these spirits by doing what God tell you to do. Bless them. That's bringing on harm to them. You bless them. Lord, bless them. Help me to forgive them. I had to go to prayer many times to ask God to not turn my heart to hate this person. To keep me from hating this person. Although she lied on me more than one time. Lied on me more than one time. I had to really go to God and say, you know what? What she got going on is not my fight. She got to deal with her jealousy. She got to deal with her hate. She got to deal with her envy. She got to deal with because she was because who she is. One thing I know about bullies and demonic spirits, they're going to envy what they wish they could be. They're going to envy what they wish they had. They envy that you got joy. They envy that you got true love. Your love is not based on material things. Your love is not based on what you do and you're expecting something back. Your love is based on genuineness. You can give without attachments. You can give, and I've given so much, I don't even remember the people I've given to. Because it's not about me remembering what I gave to who. It's about me giving. Because it's in me. And people will hate that. God revealed to me this person just hated my guts because she don't have what I have. She don't have genuine love for people. She haven't dealt with her abuse and her confusion that she got going on in herself. And that's not my fault. What people got going on with them, that's not your fault. You can't rescue, save people. You can't make people like you. You got to move out of the way because they're dealing with their own stuff. That's why I tell you all, you have to heal and do the work on yourself. So when people reject you, you know it's protection. When this person was rejecting me, I thought it was because something was wrong with me. And God told me, daughter, I was protecting you. You couldn't see everything about this person that I saw. I couldn't see all of this person's wickedness. I couldn't see it. My eyes were not open. I was still blinded and working through things, right? I saw some things, but I couldn't see everything. There was more darkness and wickedness to this person that my eyes were able to see. I saw surface stuff. But when God pulled back the spiritual curtain, I understand why he was protecting me. I understand why he was protecting my other children. I couldn't understand it on a surface level. I couldn't understand it. And people are not going to understand me either, because they didn't have to walk through that. They didn't have to live through it. They didn't have to fight through it. And that's why I say we can't look at someone else's journey and compare ourselves to it. Only thing we could say is we got to believe in the God that that person believe in to get them through it. But everybody's journey is different. And I thank this person. I don't hate this person at all, because she taught me how to fight. She taught me how to fight spiritually. Took me through spiritual training. It was because of her I learned how to fight. It was because of her I learned how to pray. It was because of her I learned how to forgive. It was because of this person I found out who I really was. I found out how strong I was, how strong I am. It really showed me I was a fighter. It really showed me I was a warrior. I can handle anything. If I went through that with that person, if I went through all the spiritual HE double hockey stick with this person here, if I went through all of that with her, I could get through anything. I can overcome anything because I went through it. And I don't regret not now, like they say down here in the South. Not now. That means not one. I don't regret nothing. Because she introduced me to myself. She woke me up to who I really am. She woke me up to who I am spiritually. Oh, because that spirit tried to take me out. And I tell y'all, that spirit tried to take me out of here, off the face of the earth. That's just what I mean. It tried to take me off the face of the earth. I kid you all not. I wouldn't lie to you all. And nobody had a clue. And I still got up, took care of my family, still got up, went to work, still was getting up, doing what I need to do. Still got up, put my best foot forward. And this spirit was straight up trying to take me off the face of the earth. All the little hidden dark things that it was trying to do behind the scenes. All of the little dark secret things they were trying to do. And I don't want to make this live about that person or them, but just so you all know, people will lie on you. And you still got to be confident, and you got to know who God is. You got to know that God is going to vindicate you. And you got to use your spiritual weapons. You got to use the word. You got to use God's word. Condemn every lie that's coming up against you. He tell you we have the power. Just how these people had the power to try to curse us, we have the power to cancel those curses. Every negative word spoken over me, every negative word spoken over my destiny, spoken over my children's success. Because you got people out here wanting your children, wanting the demise of your children, don't want them to succeed. They don't want your children to succeed. They want to speak word curses over them. They be happy when your children go through stuff that are shaping and molding them. See, I'm of the thought. I'm of the thought, right? This is how I am. This is how I view the world. This is how I view my children. I view my life like this. I just know we're all going to go through something. We all have our journey, right? We don't get to decide what our children's journey is going to be. We only can try to guide them and tell them, and hopefully they listen. But we all know these kids don't listen to us. We didn't listen to our parents. That's why we had to learn lessons we learned. So we can't be so caught up on that. But what I've learned is we got to be prayerful that what they go through don't take them out of here. What they go through will bring them closer to God, give them more understanding, because they're going to go through something. We can't keep them from going through their stuff. We can't. We can't. So I know my kids, they're all going to experience their own moments. My job is to pray for them, that it doesn't take them out, doesn't, you know, have them end up behind bars. But if that's God's will, hopefully it's not for them. But whatever their journey is, we can't control it. We just got to pray that it don't take them out of here. That's what I do. That's why I don't worry. I don't worry no more. I don't, since I had my awakening, I don't worry about the outcome of my children, and I just don't. I don't worry about that type of stuff no more. I pray for them. I believe my prayers have been answered or going to be answered, and I keep it moving. Just like with my son, when he was being controlled and you know, controlled all of those years and projected upon and manipulated, God vindicated me in that. I wasn't apologizing for nothing I didn't do. Right? I wasn't apologizing for that. But as a mom, we still have to, a parent, sometimes we do have to apologize for the things we didn't know. Right? Because we're not perfect. For the things we didn't know. Yep, so. But whatever God leads you to do that. That's what I do. Whatever he leads me to do, I do that. I don't try not to dwell on the past, because I like living in peace. I like sleeping good. I don't like things holding me back. I'm not the person that big on medications and want to take meds and stuff. I'm not that type of person. So whatever I do to keep me from being heavily relying on meds, that's what I do. I'm not gonna have nobody prescribe no pills to me. Whatever I gotta do to release pain, pressure, worry, that's what I'll do. That's my belief. I believe that we could overcome anything. I believe that we could get to a place that we're not worrying and got anxiety and depression and all that. All that stuff is not of God. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that this is my belief, and I know people may not agree, but this is my belief. Right? I believe that if you are a person who trusts and believes in God, I don't believe you should be depressed. I don't believe you should have anxiety. I don't believe you should be worried about things. If you truly believe in God, if you truly believe in what his word says, I don't believe you should be taking medication for depression and anxiety. That's my belief. I understand with the foods and everything we eat. That's another thing too I want to talk about. And that was going to be later. A lot of us are dealing with the spirit of gluttony. And we don't want to address that. I see a lot of that, like in the church, what they call the church, or the four walls, because the church is wherever you go. But in the four walls that they call the church, there's a spirit of gluttony that is heavy in the church, and that's not of God. That's a spirit that no one wants to call out. That spirit is just as worse as fornication and all the rest of them, and that's a sin that should be addressed. That's just something we need to address. I had to even deal with it. We shouldn't be overweight and we believe in God. We shouldn't be way overweight, and no, that's not good. That's not believing. We should have self-control over. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Someone was trying to call. Let me know if y'all still can hear me. I'm putting a poll in here to see. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was just putting a poll to see if you all can hear me, because when someone calls me, it knock my phone out. But that's what I want to come talk to you all about. Look, I started on one thing and ended up way on another topic. But it's almost an hour. I didn't plan on staying that long. But you all be blessed. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll come give that message about what we eat and just trying to be better about the foods and stop making excuses for not taking care of ourselves and for not having self-control over what we're eating. You know, and stop making excuses, because that's not good to be, it's not good to be unhealthy. And we make all these excuses just so we won't be disciplined in what we're putting into our bodies, or what we're trying to eat, or pulling back on how much we eat, doing things in moderations. It's like food has become our God. It's like food is just, it's like we worship food. Every time you turn around, do me a favor, go look on YouTube. Watch now. And there's nothing wrong with finding good recipes or whatever. I'm not talking about all that. But go on YouTube and look at how many food channels are there. Look at how many food channels are there. We've become like, we worship food, to be honest. It's like people are worshiping food. Like, look at all the food channels and look how many subscribers they have. Everybody just eating and getting their bellies full. And, we're overweight. We're sick. We're on medications. It's just a lot going on. And we're not trying to do anything about it. We keep going in the same direction. In the same direction. And that has to end one way or another. And there's nothing wrong with eating good food. I'm not saying that. But if food is your God and you always eating and you're not hungry, always snacking, got to be snacking on something, got to be eating just because it's there, that is not good at all. So you all be blessed. I will talk to you all later. I have to finish my day. I was supposed to be home trying to cook. So let me go and get my meal started, which is something quick. But you all